Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. This is another episode in my all-new video series by the name of Netflix Exclusive Review, where I review only horror films in order on Netflix. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? So the horror film I'm going to talk about today on Netflix is a film in the name of War of the Dead. And the plot is very simple. We have some soldiers that are out in the middle of combat. There was some experimenting on soldiers going on back in like 1939, I believe, and it was Nazis that were actually doing the experimenting, and they were experimenting on these soldiers, making them a sort of, I guess you could say, a super soldier, or like a super zombie soldier, and that sort of thing. And there are these men caught out in the middle of the war, and they come across these super soldiers or super zombies, and then it pretty much becomes a fight, a fight to the death between humans and zombies. And that's pretty much, the gist of the film titled War of the Dead. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on this film: this was a fantastic film. I went into this film expecting it to be just a very generic zombie movie, but I got something totally different. It is a zombie movie, but the thing about it, it's a zombie movie done right. The action scenes in this movie are just downright phenomenal. This is such a fun, such an entertaining movie, and it's just, you can't, it's really hard to make a zombie movie much better than this. I'm a big fan of zombie movie classics such as, Nights of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, those, even Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead was okay, but I'm a huge fan of those George A. Romero zombie classics, and I have to say, War of the Dead is just another great zombie movie, a zombie movie done right with some really great action scenes. I mean, this movie picks up the pace, and the and the steadiness of this movie just never stops. It just keeps going and going. There are only a few slow moments in this film, but overall, there's not very many slow moments at all. I mean, the movie just keeps going and going and going, and the pace only gets quicker and quicker. There's plenty of bloodshed out there. I mean, the pace is just fast. I mean, a lot of horror films, there's a scene of, maybe 10 minutes of, fast pace, and then it just kind of slows down. This movie, no, the pace just keeps getting quicker and quicker, and that's what I loved about the movie, is that it never slowed down. The action got better, there were so many explosions, so much bloodshed, that it was just a fun movie. And the zombies are really cool too, I thought. Many times throughout the film, the zombies are done in a real quick fashion where they run really fast. They're like jumping on top of the houses. They're climbing up ladders. Like I said, the zombies are done in a sort of super soldier-like, so they're not your classic, slow zombies. But they're more done in a fast realm where they're super soldiers. So they're running around, they're punching people. They know how to move around, and they know how to interact with objects and stuff. So they're not your dumb zombie that usually zombies in classic zombie movies are dumb. They don't know what they're doing. That's not the case in War of the Dead. The zombies are sort of super soldiers. They know what they're doing in this sort of case. So that's another thing that I really enjoyed about the movie. It was also really interesting learning about the whole, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away spoilers, but learning about the experimentation that was actually going on that the Nazis were doing, because apparently the film said that, it was said, supposedly this is true. Of course, you have to take this information with a grain of salt, but supposedly, back in 1939, the Nazis were experimenting on people. Well, this film takes it to an extreme cause and said, they were turning people into sort of, zombie super soldiers. So this film took sort of a true story and kind of twisted the true story on its head and gave it its own, backstory, its own mythology, and that was another thing that I really enjoyed about it. So overall, War of the Dead, straight up 5 out of 5 stars. A really fun, really, really, really entertaining zombie movie that's action-packed, full of bloodshed, and the entire film, honestly, has sort of a stylistic feature to it. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that the film just has lots of stylistic moments. There's a lot of substance in these stylistic moments. There's just so many moments where there's like slow motion, and there's a scene towards the end where all this like paper is flying around this guy while this general man is fighting a general zombie, and there's so many stylistic moments in that. There's some stylistic moments towards the beginning, so there's just, I love the style of this film. It had a certain feel to it, and it was just a great feel overall. Let's go over to my TV and see what the next horror film that I will be reviewing is. So, you know, like always, this is my TV chair. This is my chair that I sit on, and you know, here's the film War of the Dead. You can see my 5 out of 5 star rating. You can see the, you know, the category and the cast and the director and that sort of thing there. I will say, I don't want to give anything away, but the movie does have a huge kind of cliffhanger ending. I'm wondering if there is a sequel planned or anything like that. I don't know, because I haven't done any research. But I would like to see a sequel to the film, because the film does end on kind of a cliffhanger. I liked that, though. I mean, it left me wanting more, I guess you could say. Anyways, there's the picture for the film. My 5-star rating came out in 2011. It's approximately an hour and 26 minutes long. And let's see what my next horror film review is. My next film that I will be reviewing, let's see, looks like the next film I will be reviewing will be a film by the name, well, it depends, these kind of go out of order and stuff, you know, once you turn the Wii off, they kind of, you know, switch order around, but it will most likely be either Vile or Rise of the Zombies, so be looking forward to either a Vile review or Rise of the Zombies within the near future. And thank you for watching another video by Centipede Geek for my Netflix exclusive horror review for the film titled War of the Dead. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos by Centipede Geek.